All right, guys, so we got a little bit of a surprise here to fix today. This is how to patch a tire with a plug on your 2020 Cadillac. All right, so first thing that you guys want to do is make sure that you have a plug kit. I got these little shorties right here. Normally, like this is another example of some longer ones that you would probably use with like trucks and stuff like that. These seem to be a little bit thicker, believe it or not. What I always do, here's my secret to plug-in stuff. You take either one of these, whichever plug that you get, I cut it in half and make it skinny. This is going to make it much easier to get in any tire. I've been doing this for years. And you know, I've never had anything so gaping that I had to put multiple plugs in like we probably have in a while. Like it's, you know, probably well back. I'm sure we've done that on bigger tires, but something small like this, you can cut this right down the middle. That's what I suggest. And it's way easier when you go to, you know, this is what you use to put the plug in. And I'm gonna thread this right through there like that. And then what I always do is kind of get it ready and kind of squeeze it. So when this goes in, I'm gonna show you guys, you put this in, it gets in the tire, and then it goes straight out. Like it's gonna go basically straight in and straight out. So let me, first we gotta get out the little nail there, and let's see how hard this is getting out. So stay tuned. All right, so I hope you guys can see it, but this is, it's like a roofing nail is what it looks like. What I'm gonna do, I have a couple pairs of pliers, couple needle nose, and something a little bit thicker to see if we can just pull this out. That's what you're gonna have to do, is pull this out, and then we're gonna dress it up, and I'll show you that. But hopefully we can get this out easy. Let's see what happens. And it's probably gonna start hissing. Oh, shoot. The actual tip broke off, but it's still right there. This is what's left. Let's see if we can get this out. Yep, there it goes. All right, small little puncture. Got it out. It's just hissing just a little bit, and then we're gonna dress it up. Let me show you how we do that. All right, so we got the nail out, like the screw itself. What we do, you're gonna put this in the hole, and you're actually gonna clean and grind out the sides of rubber to make it easier access for the actual plug to get in there. And this is where the muscle comes in. These aren't very thick tires. Usually on some big truck tires, you're gonna feel it. And I like to clean it nice and wide. Like I really like to jam it, and I go in a circular motion and I grind all the rubber I can to make it a wide open tire. You may hear this start hissing. It's barely hissing, just a little bit. This just happened this morning. But I like it wide open. And then we plug it, and then we add air after. So let me try to dress this up and clean it. Let's see what happens. Ooh, it always helps if this is deflated a little bit. Yep, this is a hard one to get to because it's actually really small. Yep, this one's a hard one for sure. I've also seen people use like screw guns to actually get in here. Alright, this might take a minute. Need to find the hole. No pun intended. Oh, it's, yeah, this one's a hard one. And it's a bad angle. If it's a truck tire, you got much more wheel well to work with. What I'm gonna do is deflate the tire a little bit. That usually takes pressure off because this one's being really difficult to deal with. So stay tuned. All right, so what I'm gonna do is deflate the tire just a little bit. It's gonna kind of reduce the pressure pushing outwards because it's barely leaking. So it seems like there's pressure and it's keeping the rubber kind of like on itself. I'm gonna let a little bit of air out. Just a little bit. A little bit less pressure. Gosh, damn. A tough spot right here, and this thing ain't even sharp. That's the problem. All right. All right, y'all, so this thing's being real difficult. We got a screw gun here. This is a 5/64" drill bit. Let's see what happens. We got to open this tire up. Got right in there. Drill bit's a little loose, but it worked. You can hear it hissing now. All right, so we got my screw gun here with a 7/64" drill bit here. What we're gonna do this, I'm not sure if the screw went in crooked or not, but it's not cleaning up and dressing up real nice. So we're gonna open it up. Do not try this at home unless you're a trained professional. Let's dress this up and open up this hole. Just as I suspected, I think this thing went in like crooked, and they are normally not this hard to deal with. But I finally got it. I finally got the little tool to dress this up and clean it in. I had to jam it in with this. I had to clean it out with this, and then I also had to basically put in and rip out, put in, rip out. I think the one itself, I wouldn't recommend this because it's swirly and it doesn't have a lot of grip. Like, it's not really penetrating. It's also not even sharp. So jamming this thing into a tire has been difficult. Letting some air out did help though. So let's try to clean this up. Let me show you how I do this. And you're basically jamming in and out and just opening up. You're almost making this hole as big as you possibly can. And you're just jamming it in and out, back and forth until it gets easier. There it goes. It's better, and you can hear it hissing. Like I said, this is where the elbow grease comes in. And this thing, I would not recommend. I've had different ones, and this one is just not doing it. And as you can see, it's not even sharp. It's kind of blunt for like having to get in somewhere like this. All right, just getting there. It's pretty wide open. I'm going to show what it looks like. All right, so there's the hole, and it's not really hissing. A lot of the air is out. Let's see if we can get the plug in here. All right, let's try to get this in here. Let's see if we can get it done in one shot. I think we got this. Let's go. And if we don't get it in one shot, then we got to dress it up a little bit more. Sure enough, this is very difficult. I have never had this much problem plugging the tire. Not even kidding. Not even kidding. Okay, let's dress it up a little bit more. So here's the arrangement with the tool to put in the plug. What I do is actually take pliers and make that a little wider, that gap right there. The way it comes stock, and I've used this a few times, but the way it comes stock is really close, and it makes real hard for this to get out. That's also another reason why I cut it in half, is so it's much easier to put in there. All right, so we're gonna clean this up a little bit more and then try again. It's getting wide open. You gotta do it in all different angles. All right, let's try this again, fingers crossed. All right, it's getting in there, come on. All right, guys, we got it in, and for some reason, my camera was overheating right as I got it in, but let me show y'all what we did. This is hanging out here. You're gonna take this, jam it in until just the tails. You can snip these if you want. I don't care that they're there. They will naturally just come off, but this fixes the leak right here. You're just gonna jam that in and pull it straight out, and basically, actually it's gonna go in like this, and it'll pinch, and basically it'll release from here, and it'll leave it looking just like that while it's plugged. So that's what we did right there. All right, so the last thing that you have to do is air up your tire again. Remember, I deflated the tire because I was having a hard time getting it in there. You don't have to deflate it all the time. Most of the time I don't. It was giving me problems, so I took some air out. And you're just gonna pump this up to spec. I'm gonna get it going and then I'm gonna check it within the car. All right, so we got this patched up. Time to get back on the road and enjoy your car. I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already, like and hit the subscribe button. I'm out.